This broadcast of the ASEAN Basketball League may not be reused in any way, shape, or form without an express written consent of the ABL.
Go right there, another block by Miguel.
Wide open is Regulus. Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire.
Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in! CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lai, oh everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net. Leaky with a big steal. Leaky for 3. That goes in. What a play!
Good evening, everyone, from inside the Saka Gymnasium in Zhongshan, China. This is the 4th consecutive game by the Wolf Warriors here at home. This is Yoyo Sarmenta, and alongside me is Noel Zarata. We are bringing you the 10th season of the ASEAN Basketball League. Noel, what can we expect from these two teams tonight?
Well, you know what? This is a matchup here between a team that just picked up its first win and a team struggling to get back into the win column after an ongoing, a 3-game losing streak for the Macau Wolf Warriors. For Hong Kong, they made a few changes, enabling them to get their first win. For Macau, they're still smarting without their point guard, Doug Herring, in their lineup, and he's still not in the lineup tonight, so it'll be interesting to see how they turn it around after, 3 days of rest since their last loss.
Expect an explosive matchup between these two teams. And right off the bat, we start with Brandis Rayleigh Ross, the new guy for Hong Kong Eastern.
Yeah, he came in to replace the other import,
Trey Cal.
Yeah, Trey Cal, who was averaging close to 32 points a game, but what he brought to the table was some point guard chops. Look at that, 17 and 13 assists in that game, in this very, very first game that led directly to a win, an 82-78 win against the visiting KL Dragons in that one. So if he can actually man that point guard position the way he did against the Dragons, they could be in it for an advantage in this game.
Brandon Costa will also be critical for the Hong Kong Eastern tonight.
Well, he has been their go-to guy. Look at that, 35 points, 10 rebounds on 7 of 16 shooting against the KL Dragons in the win. He has been the go-to guy here ever since Trey Cal was out of the lineup. So now with better ball distribution, looks like everybody's starting to get involved, but look at the range that Brandon Costner brings to the table. He's a great post threat. He's also an excellent outside shooter. So the defense of the Wolf Warriors will have their hands full. And talking about the support crew here for Hong Kong Eastern, Michael Holyfield is in there for the rebounds and for the blocks. Dreamers. Steven Gonchard also a welcome return to the Hong Kong Eastern squad.
Last game by the Macau Wolf Warriors was another loss, this time against the Taipei Fubon Braves.
How about 25 points on the break for the Taipei Fubon Braves? Only 4 points on the fast break, 10 steals total. So they sort of fell apart in that second half in that game.
And the last game by Eastern, as we've been mentioning, the first win by Hong Kong, an 82-78 victory.
And everybody was shooting well in that game. Look at the 13 of 36 from beyond the arc. That game for Hong Kong Eastern. Typically, you know, KL Dragons should have the advantage in outside shooting, not in that game.
And another one reason that Macau Wolf Warriors have been struggling is Scott Ewing.
Now, Scott Ewing, he was a part of their first 3 wins, but now part of their last 4 losses as well. Only 8 points in that loss to the Taipei Fubon Braves. He was actually shut down. They identified him as the shooter. Did play well on both ends of the floor, but they still need him to produce double figures, especially shoot a lot of threes if they want to get some success here at home against Hong Kong Eastern.
After a 2 for 11 shooting, expect Ewing to try to bounce back in this one. But talking about a quick turnaround,
Yeah.
Mike Bell.
Well, Mike Bell had 8 points and 7 rebounds in his first game, but came away. This was his first game back. You know, he did play 20 games last season for the Macau Wolf Warriors, when they were still known as the Zhuhai Wolf Warriors. Came in as a replacement for Doug Herring and exploded for 18 points, 16 rebounds, and 8 assists, missing a triple-double by just 2 dimes in the loss against the Fubon Braves. That's only his second game, so now he's been acclimatized. 3 days of no basketball activity. He's just been practicing with the team, and looks like he's blended in.
And Wolf Warriors will need every bit of firepower they can get. Julian Boyd and Stephen Thomas. Look at those numbers.
Yeah, Stephen Thomas averaging a double-double, actually hurt his back. Did not play the fourth quarter against the Fubon Braves. I spoke to him before the game. He said he's 100%. Does not really shoot threes, likes to operate in the post, and if you see the results that Stephen Thomas produced against Ryan Watkins of the Singapore Slingers,
And Wolf Warriors get the first possession. And immediately, Brandon Ross with the impact on the defensive end, but the ball is stolen back by Ewing.
Well, he redeemed himself after trying to make that telegraph pass, which is easily read. It's going to be interesting to see how Hong Kong plays defense against this team. They're zoning them up right now.
So zoned quickly by Hong Kong. Here's Ewing with the basketball. They go to Bell. Stolen. That's 2 steals immediately by Eastern. Ahead to Holyfield, but picked up by Bell.
Great defense actually for both teams, and sloppy offense also for both teams to begin this game.
So still scoreless. They swing it over to Boyd. To Thomas. Has an ailing back, denied by Holyfield.
But you like the fact that he didn't settle for that jump shot. He tested the defense of Michael Holyfield early. Holyfield, of course, is standing about 2 inches taller at 6'11". Thomas at 6'9". Holyfield is the more agile of the two. And again, an ailing back for Stephen Thomas. He usually gets that end one already, but he was blocked that time.
Oh, easy 2-pointer by Julian Boyd. And we are on the scoreboard here in Zhongshan, China.
That also happens because of that baseline inbound. There was a screen. Nobody rotated to stop Julian Boyd. Easy 2 points for Macau. Uh-oh.
Ball stolen all the way for Mike Bell.
That's what Mike Bell brings to the table, that kind of defensive intensity. Won't really score that much, although he did have 18 points in their last win. But the defense, in terms of steals and blocks, that's what he brings for the Wolf Warriors.
Really, Ross fouled as he was taking the floater. You know, Mike Bell, you mentioned he's back home. Safe to say, after a rough first game, he got himself assimilated into the culture, to the system, to the country.
Well, yeah, of course, he did come from Vietnam. It's not this cold in Vietnam. We're averaging about 16, 70-degree temperatures here in Zhongshan. So he's back on track, as you said, under Coach Todd Purves again, who was his coach in Hanoi over at the VBA, the Vietnam Basketball Association.
Really, Ross gets on the board. He had 17 points in his very first game in the ABL. Let's see how many will he score tonight.
A more important thing after the 17 points was the 13 assists. In his first game, he was able to find his teammates.
Boyd. Nice defense by Holyfield, but Thomas gets the rebound. 5 on the shot clock. Thomas, does he know it? Yes, he does. Hook shot, good.
And that's going to be an advantage here in Stephen Thomas, one of the better post players in the history of the league. Holyfield had better adjust.
Oh, crossover by Coster. Nearly goes for the N1, and he will troop to the line. Beautiful move by Brandon Costner.
That's a big-time crossover from somebody who's 6'9", and getting that one against Mike Bell. So Brandon Costner with a chance early to calibrate his guns. Remember, he did score 35 points against the KL Dragons. They're going to need every ounce of his energy. Of course, Chance Yu Wing is not with the team today. That's one of their known shooters. So they're going to have a lot riding on their shooters on the floor. John Shu and Lee Ki as well, of course.
Adam Chu is on the bench. Steven Gernchard also.
Yeah. They also have Lau Chi Lai, so it's another. They do have a lot of shooters on this team.
6-4, 2 minutes have passed in the opening salvo. A lot of action underneath. Hu Yu Wei sees daylight. Denied by Holyfield.
That's 3 blocks already for Michael Holyfield.
Really Ross running. Lee Ki. 3. Off to the right. Steal by Lee Ki.
Oh boy, these two teams are just playing great defense.
Lee Ki open. Misses. And Boyd comes up with it.
He dodged the bullet that time. That's usually automatic for Lee Ki.
Here's Ewing. He'll try a 3, no go.
So the shooters are still trying to find their range here for both teams. It's going to be interesting to see how Ewing and Lee Ki match up.
Foster trying to draw the foul on Mike Bell, but there's a foul. Thomas and Holyfield playing boxing underneath.
Yeah, we have our 3 officials here from Chinese Taipei really seeing the action. It's going to be a double foul against the 2 number 55. So Todd Purvis is not happy with that one.
Let's see that replay. They were hugging and shoving and double foul.
Yeah. So those fouls cancel each other out. One on Holyfield, one on Stephen Thomas. Actually, 3 team fouls already for the Macau Wolf Warriors. We're just under 7 minutes remaining here in the first.
Hong Kong has been playing terrific defense, stealing the ball left and right. Thomas with 10 on the shot clock. They swing it over back to Thomas. Jumper. No. Rebound, Rayleigh Ross. He is running. Open is John Shu. Too strong.
And you can see the first order on offense for Hong Kong Eastern, for Jordan Brady, is for you to take the first available shot. Early offense needed against the very stingy defense here of the Wolf Warriors.
Hu Yu Wei goes hard to the cup. No call. The ball will stay with Macau.
Julian Boyd is not really happy with the non-call that time. Lets our officials know about it, but they do keep the ball with 7 seconds on the shot clock.
Boyd, quick trigger. Short. Here's Hong Kong on the offensive end once again. Leakey is open. Holyfield is right there. Put back. No. So here we are on the other end. Boyd, stop and pop. Still a miss. Thomas to Bell. Bell will drive. Nowhere to go. Out of bounds.
Wow, just great defense there by Lee Key, using his wide body to try and deny the baseline, and he was successful there against Mike Bell. And both teams not shooting the ball particularly well, especially in transition at this point.
I believe this is the first time these two teams have met, so a bit of a familiarization so far. Holyfield goes up. Hong Kong basketball still. John Shu takes the 3, knocks it down.
Julian Boyd's got to respect that everybody on Hong Kong Eastern can actually shoot that 3. And John Shu making sure that he notices that.
Hu Yu Wei will try to answer. He does!
That's a long 2, however, given to Hu Yu Wei.
So a long 2, not a 3. It's 8-7 in favor of the Wolf Warriors. Coming up on the halfway mark. Rayleigh Ross trying to feed it to Holyfield, but Ewing was right there with the D.
And you can see Rayleigh Ross is actually more of a pick and roll guy. Holyfield has to adjust to that, getting to the spot before the pass.
And we have a ceasefire on the floor. TV timeout. It's 8-7, halfway through the first.
A little bit of a spotty start for Hong Kong in terms of their offense, but in stark contrast, their defense has been phenomenal.
Under 5 to play in the first. Ewing, nowhere to go. Hu Yu Wei sizing up Leakey and gets the roll.
Yeah, he's so versatile. He can play the 3 and the 4 position. He's playing the 3 right now, can put the ball on the floor, has good range. They had to respect that range. That's why he was able to get that easy left-handed layup.
Here he is trying to stay in front of Rayleigh Ross. Costner directing traffic. Back and the hands of their point guard. 6 to work with. Leaky with 3, 2. Leaky has to put it up. Way
There's
off.
going to be a foul called, though. Let's see if it's going to go against Holyfield. That's going to be number 2 on him.
That will be critical. That will certainly change the complexion of this game if indeed that is on Holyfield.
Yeah, it
yes, he
is.
does. He will take a breather.
Yeah, they're going to bring in Tang Chi Hang at 6'4". He's the biggest local they got. And he's going to have to fill in that center spot right now. Stephen Gonchar also in the game for the first time for Hong Kong Eastern. The prodigal son returns.
Wolf Warriors with a 3-point lead. Ewing, he has been quiet so far. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Boyd. And Coster comes up with it. Rayleigh, Ross running. Cannot finish. Corner they go. John Shu. Too strong. And somehow, some way, Mike Bell comes up with it.
But Mike Bell is going to out-rebound everybody in Hong Kong if they don't box him out.
Holyfield is on the bench with 2 fouls. And Coster, Hong Kong, with another steal. It is Gunshar. So Hong Kong defense has been on point, but their shooting not yet.
Yeah, that's right. Even the Wolf Warriors are playing great defense here, but their shooting has also left a lot to be desired until Stephen Thomas gets his second field goal of the game.
Stephen Thomas has been the steady contributor for the Wolf Warriors. Near steal.
Ooh, I'm not sure about this one.
Here he is explaining his case. Nice tap on our referee.
That's going to be number 2 on Stephen Thomas as well, and that's the cue now for Chai Chen to see his first action, but he's not replacing Thomas. He is replacing Mike Bell. And the same thing with Tang Ji Kang, who's going to come back in. So more offense now inserted by Coach Todd Purvis in the lineup of the Wolf Warriors.
Both teams trying to feel each other out. Lots of time for Hong Kong. Gunchar. Still a miss from beyond the arc.
They must have missed about 8 3-pointers already here in the first quarter.
Boyd spinning his way inside. Put back good.
Just stayed with it. You know, the best rebounder of a missed shot is the guy who missed the shot. And Boyd now gives Macau their biggest lead of the game.
Coster, stop and pop. No. Wolf Warriors off to a terrific start. Something that has been missing the past several games.
Oh, nice
no look
pass.
feed inside. Thomas to Chai Chen plus a foul.
Amazing vision that time by Stephen Thomas to find Chai Chen, who was just cutting unmolested inside. And that is just a great, great play for the Wolf Warriors. We see this one again. They just needed one look. Saw that there was a seal inside and good positioning over Tang Chi Hang, that time by Chai Chen.
Stephen Thomas, 2 field goals and that terrific pass will take a seat. Mike Bell checks back in.
There's going to be a timeout here called by Hong Kong Eastern. They're in trouble here in the first quarter. They are down by 10, 17-7 against the Macau Wolf Warriors. for Hong Kong Eastern, so they're taking advantage.
And Hong Kong has yet to find its range, missing a ton of threes.
They've hit one today.
Ginchar drives inside to Costner. Costner, too strong. Put back is good.
And Mike Bell knew that if he'd gone up for that, that would have been an and one. So Costner's got to stay that aggressive if Hong Kong wants to cut this lead down. It's down to 8 right now.
Under 2 to play in the first. Oh, they go inside. Now it's Boyd's turn. Bit of a sloppy sequence there for Macau in their offensive set.
Yeah, it's just a great idea there by Tang Ji Keng. The problem is he's the second smallest guy on the floor. He passed it inside to the smallest guy on the floor. So they had to force it out. They had to jack up an outside shot. But again, the ball movement is still there for the Wolf Warriors.
Really, Ross draws a foul on Tang Ji Keng.
Remember, Tang Ji Keng picked up 4 fouls in their last game against the Taipei Fubon Braves. He has a tendency to stick too close to the guy he's defending. He's called for foul number 1 here. However, that's also going to put the Wolf Warriors over the limit. And Stephen Gonchard, I'll make that Brand Israeli Ross, going to the free throw line.
He has 2 points so far. Fresh of a 17-point, 13 assist game.
You sort of like him, you know, it's an old school type point guard. Actually reminds me a lot of Kenny Smith, the way he plays. I haven't seen him jack up any Kenny Smith-like shots, but his point guard chops are pretty spot on.
So it's now 17-11. Wolf Warriors still up. A minute and a half to play in the first. Ewing to Boyd underneath. That should be a kick ball.
Yeah, Tang was able to kick that ball, Tang Shi Hang. And it's interesting that Chris Shentu is seeing his first action of the game coming off the bench. He usually starts at that point guard position.
So the shot clock resets to 14. Boyd, quick trigger. No, rebound Bell.
Clear out. Gotta clear it out.
Chai-Chen.
Yeah.
Muscles his way underneath. Hook shot is good.
When Chai-Chen gets that kind of position, even if his low post move is a little farther away, you got to give him some space to operate.
Miscommunication on defense by the Wolf Warriors. It's Coster. That's good.
And his range is really off the charts. Ooh, almost an unforced turnover that time. But again, you know, you got to stick to Brandon Costner. You can't play zone against Hong Kong Eastern, that's for sure.
He attempted 16 threes, knocked down 7 his last game. Boyd, tough play, tough finish.
Excellent hang time that time by Julian Boyd against Gonchard.
30 seconds in the first. Coster, he's feeling it. They go to Gonchard, to the corner they go. Hong Kong is moving the ball well. Really, Ross takes a closer look. Ooh. And the finish.
How he got that one over Chai-Chen is something I got to understand later on.
10 seconds left in the opening quarter. Shentu. Alley-oop to Mike Bell. And what a way to end the first quarter here in China. Chris Shentu with the alley-oop special to Mike Bell.
Amazing finish, and that's going to get this crowd pumped up heading into the second.
It's 23-16 after the first. We will be back for the second period. There is a buzz here inside the Sakai Gymnasium. The home team, the Macau Wolf Warriors, are up 23-16 after an electrifying first quarter.
Well, you know that Hong Kong Eastern is not going to shoot this miserably coming into the second. They have to do their adjustments right now, and Stephen Gonchard, well, opens up the shooting with, opens up the scoring with a three.
So that was the story in the first quarter. Holyfield with 2 fouls and Hong Kong not being able to knock down their shots.
Holyfield still not on the floor to begin the second.
Ang Kang. Underneath they go to Boyd. No.
You gotta give credit to John Shu. He's actually been bodying up on Julian Boyd.
Inside they go. Steven Gunchar with the finish.
Gunchar, even in the inaugural season of Hong Kong Eastern, has been one of the best 6th men that we have here in the league. He's already got 5 points in this game.
Boyd, who had 6 points in the first quarter, posting up and the finish.
He's got to realize that the guy guarding him, John Shu, is about 6'2", and he's about 6'7", so he should be able to get those easy layups every time, whenever he wants.
Ray Ross against the taller Mike Bell. Costa from the outside, too short. Let's see if they go to the post once again.
Chai Chen's
Chai
keeping
Chen
this.
to the hole. Ahead to Gunchar. Ooh. Step back jumper, no. And somehow John Shu comes up with it. Costner tries once more. Costner put back. He cleans up the mess.
Oh, you got to give credit to have that basket to John Shu, who fought over 2 white shirts to just tap that ball back to Brandon Costner.
So it is now a 2-point game. Now they go to the post. Chai Chen open all day long. Chai Chen.
Yeah, Chai Chen is one of the most crafty scorers that we have here in the league. You got to know where he is at all times.
8 points for the local scorer. Nice drive inside. But the foul is called against Christian too.
And great drive that time by Tang Chi-Han. You know, you don't really respect his offense, but he does have it. He just needs to show it every now and then. And Stephen Thomas is going to come back into the game to replace Julian Boyd. And same thing with Hu Yue coming in for Mike Bell.
So this will be a crucial stretch for Macau to import taking a breather. And out of bounds, Gunchar.
Gunchar wanted to get a little bit of a momentum going to the baseline, put his foot outside. But again, you gotta love the energy of the second unit here for Hong Kong Eastern. They were down by 10 points, cut that lead down to half now.
2 minutes have passed in the second quarter. Let's see where they will go. Chai Chen, pass underneath, picked up. And a foul against the Wolf Warriors.
Well, you know, Hu Yue was a little too deep that time, and the pass was a little late there coming from Chai Chen. And we were crediting Hong Kong's defense from the get-go. It's still there. It's just that they need to start making their shots. Holyfield has to be a little bit more involved in the offense at this point. He's already hit 1 3. We all know that he can explode, but he's got to be more involved.
Tang Chi Kang, stolen by Tang Chi Kang. Ahead they go. Left-handed layup. And Christian too will troop to the line to shoot 2.
It's amazing, you know, the defense of both teams is as if they know where each other's going to go at any given time. It's just a matter of making shots here. And again, John Shu doing a lot of stuff above and beyond the call of duty.
Been playing great defense so far.
We're going to call that one on Tang Chi-Han, actually.
So Hong Kong actually has 5 steals. Macau has 3.
Yeah.
So it's been steals left and right for both teams.
It's been that kind of a game, really. Both teams putting a premium on defense. We have to remember, against the KL Dragons, that's exactly what Hong Kong Eastern did. You don't usually hold KL to below 80 points a game, but you know, if this guy continues to shoot, it's going to be interesting.
Cosser with a triple.
Hong Kong hanging in there, despite the fact that Michael Holyfield is still on the bench.
Tang Chi Kang.
Oh.
Floater. Gets the bounce.
one of the most unorthodox releases in the league. And that's his first 2 points of the game.
He was caught in the air, but somehow finished it. Riley Ross crossover. And nope. No, he will go to line, but a beautiful move there, Riley Ross.
Late rotation there coming from Chai Chen.
He got the first step against this defender and went hard to the basket.
Now we're gonna have now speed with more speed here as Costner's gonna take a seat. Adam Shu is gonna see his first action of the game. Now we expect this to be a running game. If Hong Kong can secure some rebounds, there's gonna be a lot of fast breaks with Shu, Ganshar, and John Shu.
With Costner on the bench with 12 points, Holyfield still on the bench as well. Where will the offense come from for Hong Kong?
Well, it'll be generated, of course, by Rayleigh Ross, who's at the free throw line right now. He's got 4 locals on the squad. These are 4 talented locals, make no mistake about it. So he needs to be able to orchestrate, especially in the open court.
4-point game, 32-28, and still in favor of the home team. Chris Shentu, bounce pass to Chai Chen. That is a miss. Up ahead, wide open is Gunchar. Takes a 3. Could not knock it down. Chai Chen running, crossover.
Wow.
And no.
Chai Chen is 6'8", but moves like a guard, evading 2 defenders that time, and now it's going to be Hu Yue going to the free throw line.
And a quick breather for Costner. He immediately checks back into the ball game.
Yeah, that was a failed experiment that time for Jordan Brady. They wanted a faster unit out there. Now Costner's going to come in but play center at this point because Tang Chi-hang is the guy he replaced. So for Hu Yue,
he has 4 points so far. He knocks down the first.
yeah, Hu Yue, of course, did not see action in that second matchup against Formosa because he was a little bit under the weather. But you do want impact players like this. He usually starts. Chai Chen comes off the bench. And when they're together on the floor, which is the case right now, you want that kind of impact from your locals.
2 for 2 for Hu Yue. Substitution on the floor. Julian Boyd will check back in. He has 8 points to his name so far. Chai Chen will take a rest.
Same thing with Hu Yue. So they're back to having Julian Boyd in the lineup will be the focal point of their offense.
6-point game. They go to Costner underneath against Boyd. 12 on the shot clock. Costner. He was pushed to the left. Cannot find the basket. Here's Shentu. Uses the pick by Boyd. Shentu attacks. And he will go again to the line.
Yeah, the role of Chris Shentu in this lineup is very, very important because he is their only true point guard in the entire roster. So if he can actually attract the defense towards him, it's going to open up a lot of shooters. But first of all, he's got to make them respect him, that he will drive if you give him some kind of an opening. That's exactly what he did in that case.
And it is an interesting lineup so far for Macau Noel. They have Ewing, Tang Ji-keng, and Chris Shentu, plus 2 big men.
That's right. You know, and the thing is, the tallest of the 3 guards, Chris Shentu at 6'3", he is the point guard. So you got 5'9", Tang Ji-keng, and 5'5", Scott Ewing playing the wings. And they're going to get even smaller. Well, not really smaller, but Mike Bell doesn't really play center. He's going to come in to fill in at center for Stephen Thomas, who's still not 100%, mind you.
Stephen Thomas did not play the 4th quarter against the Taipei Fubon Braves. Here's Rayleigh Ross. 3-pointer is no good. Chris Shentu running the floor for the Wolf Warriors. Attacking to Ewing. Back at the hands of Chris Shentu. Mike Bell, jumper. No. And it's Hong Kong's turn to run. Bounce pass to Adam Shu. Foster, quick first step. And somehow Boyd gets it.
That's one of the strangest rebounds you'll ever see, but again, great defense. That's what Mike Bell really brings for you, especially in transition.
Crossover, step back, Jay. No go for Julian Boyd. Costner. too strong on that triple. Wolf Warriors are running again. Shentu, he'll try a three. In and out and in.
All right, Chris Shentu is having a great game off the bench. But again, he has to remember he's the point guard of this team. Jordan Brady is not happy with what's happening right now. Timeout, Hong Kong. For the Macau Wolf Warriors, this is actually their biggest lead of the game. They were up 17-7 in the first quarter. And Macau is now fighting their offense as well.
Floater, Riley Ross, no, rebound Bell. Wolf Warriors hoping to extend that lead right now. Boyd goes hard, and the finish.
If there's no Michael Holyfield in there to swat those shots away, remember Holyfield had 3 blocks in the first quarter before picking up 2 fouls. And I think this is now the time that Michael Holyfield is needed back on the floor, but they're down 13.
He's at the scorer's table talking about Michael Holyfield. Out of bounds, Lee Key with the defense on Tan Ji Kang. And Holyfield will check back in. Let's see if Hong Kong can slice this lead.
Well, now they have a rim protector there. That's going to make everybody from the Wolf Warriors think twice about driving. There was always a big seam in the defense and nobody there to stop the shot.
Underneath they go to Holyfield. Is fouled by Shentu.
That's a Judy foul there given up by Chris Shentu. A little too hard. Got the Holyfield on the mouth there a bit.
Did not appreciate the hard foul by Chris Shentu. So with Holyfield back in the game, this certainly changes the complexion for Hong Kong on both ends.
Well, especially in terms of defense. You know, Holyfield has not really been effective on offense at this point. He's actually still scoreless in this game. See if he does well from the line, yeah.
3 blocks.
Yeah. He got that all in the first quarter before picking up his second foul. Now, the thing is, Michael Holyfield has one of the funkiest releases among free throwers in the league. Now, I remember in the playoffs last season, he started making his shots from the free throw line, but it's usually not as accurate as you would like it to be.
Still scoreless. 0 for 2 at the line. Here's Shentu. He's had the hot hand to Boyd. Floater, yes!
And Julian Boyd's goal right now is to pick up foul number 3 against Michael Holyfield. You know, Holyfield is in there as a rim protector, but with 2 personal fouls, you're going to have to think twice about challenging guys who are driving.
It is now a 43-28 lead, a 15-point advantage by the home team.
Hong Kong Eastern has been stuck at 28 points for quite a while now.
Remember, the Macau Wolf Warriors coming off 3 straight losses here at home. Will this be the night they will get the W? Mike Bell.
No!
That is good.
Now you got a problem when the power forward starts making shots like that as well. Actually, Mike Bell playing center right now.
18-point lead. Costner cannot answer. Gunchar, he'll try a 3. No, Holyfield is there.
Oh,
Cannot finish.
You'd rather foul him. Yeah, you'd rather foul him than letting him finish in the rim. You know, Holyfield has missed 5 attempts from about 1 foot away from the rim.
There's a lid at the basket of Hong Kong. They have been stuck at 28.
I don't remember the last time the Macau Wolf Warriors led by 18 points in a game. Again, study the release of the free throw here.
Wolf Warriors are 3-7. Last season, they only had 2 wins to show for. So they're trying to double up here tonight. Holyfield finally knocks down a free throw. He is on the scoreboard with a 1.
Yeah.
Finally stops the bleeding also for Hong Kong.
Well, the thing is also for the Wolf Warriors, they could survive this first half with Stephen Thomas resting his back on the bench, and they're up by 17.
Tang Ji Kang, he'll try it from deep.
Oh!
He finishes with the 3.
The teacher with a lesson for the defense of Hong Kong. 20-point lead for Macau.
Costner goes hard to the cup, and he will go to the line.
Mike Bell's going to pick up his second foul, and you know, we've been talking about Brandon Costner needing to get more involved in the offense. Right now, the offense is actually going straight to him. He's trying to stay aggressive, but the thing is, they're going to need a lot more than free throws to come back from 20 down. Hong Kong has only scored 14 points here in this second quarter. While, of course, the Wolf Warriors have already more than doubled what they've scored in the first, with 26 here in the second.
Costner goes 2 for 2. He has 14 points so far.
Yeah, we're going to have our first look now at Lau Tsi Lai, another shooter from Hong Kong Eastern, a member of the Hong Kong national team. So Leakey really hasn't gotten things uncorked. Let's see if Lau Tsi Lai can actually provide that.
Coming up on 2 minutes remaining in the first. Bell attacks. Bell with the finish.
Holyfield is sort of defenseless on defense with those 2 fouls, and Mike Bell just using his length that time.
Costner spins. Rebound, Holyfield, easy put back.
Finally, a field goal from Michael Holyfield. That's actually 7th attempt, all of them from within the shaded area.
A minute and a half to play in the first half. All Wolf Warriors so far here in the second. Tang Ji Kang, another 3. Not that time. Rayleigh Ross with the burst and the layup.
Yeah, Scotty Ewing is going to be a defensive liability if he's going to take on Rayleigh Ross, because Rayleigh Ross is not only bigger, he's also faster.
51-35, Macau still a big Boyd. No.
Well, they missed their last 3 attempts, and Hong Kong has made their last 2 attempts.
Rayleigh Ross, again with the foot speed. Gunjar knocks it down.
7-zip run here from Hong Kong.
.45 seconds remaining. Shentu, he had an alley-oop to close out the first to Mike Bell. Boyd with 8 now on the shot clock. Boyd, jumper. No.
4 straight misses there for Macau.
Hong Kong can go 2 for 1 if they want to. Rayleigh Ross attacks. Lau Tsi Lai. That's good.
10 unanswered points now for Hong Kong Eastern. If there's a team in the ABL that can get points in a hurry, it is definitely Hong Kong Eastern. They called that one a long 2, so it's a 9-0 run ongoing for Hong Kong.
6 seconds remaining in the first half. Scott Ewing, left-handed layup with the finish.
That's got to feel good for Scotty Ewing, who's missed everything he's thrown up here today, but finally getting the last say in the first half to give the Macau Wolf Warriors a 13-point lead heading into the break. to jack up as many open threes as they can. Sometimes they're not open threes, but the part of their offense really that is missing is their accuracy from beyond the arc. Also, they're from the free throw line. They're 11 of 14. They've doubled up Macau Wolf Warriors when it comes to free throw shooting, 7 of 7 for the Macau Wolf Warriors. But the big number that I see right here, points off turnovers for the Wolf Warriors, 11 to 3. Also bench points, 20 to 10. In favor of Macau.
And we are underway in the second half. Stephen Thomas against Holyfield to Boyd underneath, denied by John Chu, denied by Holyfield.
That's going to be number 3 though on Holyfield. So again, John Chu providing a lot of spark in terms of their defense, but this is bad news now for Jordan Brady and the rest of Hong Kong Eastern. Great initial defense there coming from John Chu, and then Holyfield coming in to help out, picks up his 3rd.
Julian Boyd had 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists in that first half for Macau.
And Macau is still spotless from the free throw line. They're 8 of 8 now as a team. More importantly, that free throw puts them up to a 14-point lead. Well, spoke too soon.
So for Hong Kong, it's Brandon Coster with 14 points.
And Lee Kee still 0. This is one of the things that they need to get Lee Kee involved in their offense.
John Chu from deep, way outside there. Lee Kee resets the possession, fouled by Ewing.
Ewing tried to fight, go over the screen of Michael Holyfield that time. This is a better matchup actually for Scott Ewing, trying to stay with Lee Kee, shooter on shooter. Whenever he takes on Brandis Rayleigh Ross, that's where Hong Kong has the advantage.
Rayleigh Ross with 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 dimes.
However, also 4 turnovers in the first half for Rayleigh Ross.
Corner triple is a miss. Holyfield still on the floor with 3 fouls, and the ball will stay with Hong Kong.
It's going to call a foul. That's going to be number 3 as well on Stephen Thomas. Remember, Stephen Thomas actually sat out a majority of that second quarter after picking up that 3rd foul. So both centers now for each team nursing 3 fouls.
Costner open, too strong. Holyfield is there. Holyfield goes up. He still has it. Holyfield gets the putback.
Michael Holyfield struggling on offense, only his 2nd field goal, but that cuts the lead down to 12.
Ewing uses the pick from Thomas. Thomas, jumper, does not get the roll. Boyd up and in, plus the foul.
Amazing body control that time by Julian Boyd. Knew he was going to get hit by either John Chu or Brandis Rayleigh Ross. Stayed with his shot, actually looked away. If you see right here, looked away from the rim when he knew he was going to get hit, but still had enough strength to finish that for a 3-point opportunity.
Boyd is the leading scorer for the Wolf Warriors so far with 15 points. Make that 16.
He is the leading scorer for the team coming into this game. And it's John Chu is going to take a seat. So they are going to gamble here with both centers on the floor with 3 fouls. John Chu replaced now by Adam Chu.
Hong Kong staring at the huge deficit, 57-42. Costner, quick trigger, bottom.
And just a little late that time, Julian Boyd. These 2 guys are going to duel for points in this game. Could cancel each other out. It's going to be up to the bench and the locals for both squads.
12-point lead being enjoyed by the home team. Bell, he will answer.
Big 3 again. Mike Bell does have that in his range, and a steal by Hu Yue.
Hu Yue looking for teammates, finds Boyd. Boyd back to Hu Yue.
A smart reset here by Hu Yue.
Lots of time for the Wolf Warriors. Ewing from deep, short. Rayleigh Ross with the push. Foul, says our official. That will go against Mike Bell.
Again, they're starting to realize that Rayleigh Ross can run the pick and roll. That's going to be number 3 as well on Mike Bell.
So it's Stephen Thomas rather with 3, and as well as Mike Bell with 3. For Hong Kong, only Holyfield with foul trouble. Costner with the triple.
Boy, Brandon Costner, that's his 4th 3-pointer of the game. They got to start putting a hand in his face now. he's starting to take over and give Hong Kong some rally aspirations.
Costner fresh of a 35-point outing, spiked by 7 triples. Battle underneath, jump ball, says the referee. Adam Shu diving against Julian Boyd there.
And Hong Kong Eastern is going to win the possession arrow for this one. So great defense being played by practically everybody here in Hong Kong. But again, at the end of the day, you still got to make baskets. One of the reasons why the Wolf Warriors led big by as much as 20 points in that first half is they shot above 50%, 51.2 to be exact, from the field, making more than half of the shots they took. Hong Kong Eastern as a team, only 30% from the field in the first half.
Costner all the way to the cup.
So it is now takeover time for Brandon Costner. He's now pushed his total up to 22. That's a game-high score now.
10-point game. Wolf Warriors trying to preserve that lead. Ewing open with the 3.
Well, he's been open a lot. He's just been a little trigger shy or gun shy, but that time made them pay for sagging off of him.
Lead back up to 13. Costner, he'll try a 3. Not that time.
Wasn't squared up to shoot that one. Tried to rush that shot.
6.5 to play in the third. Boyd posting up against Adam Shu. Boyd met by Holyfield. 3 seconds, says our official. Boyd tried to shovel pass to Stephen Thomas.
Now this is a great sub here for Coach Todd Purvis. Mike Bell is going to take a seat. Chai Chen is going to come back. Remember, Chai Chen had some meaningful minutes in that first half. He had 8 points and attracted the defense a lot. Holyfield is in there, though. That's going to change things a lot, but Chai Chen's offense, very important at this stretch of the game.
Mike Bell will take a seat with 12 points and 3 fouls. Rayleigh Ross, way off. Ewing to Chai Chen.
Uh-oh.
Stop and pop. No. He loves those kinds of shots. Rayleigh Ross with the burst of speed.
And he took that straight into the chest of the taller Hu Yue. So this lead is down to 11 once again.
Ewing, floater. That is short. Thomas, though. Put back, no. Holyfield nursing those 3 fouls.
And again, the length of Michael Holyfield is going to make you change a lot of shots. Uh-oh.
Costner, crossover and left-handed layup.
Little late on defensive rotation there. That time was Chai Chen. And Coach Todd Purvis is asking the referees to call those holds inside.
Boyd spins inside. Great defense by Holyfield and Adam Shu. Dang Ji Ken will check back into the ball game.
Still no sign of Chris Shentu coming back in. You know, Shentu led the charge in that second quarter with his energy and his feisty playmaking. And here's a guy who's actually kept Hong Kong in the game, Stephen Gonchar. Leakey has struggled here today.
Leakey checks out with 0 points so far to his name.
Yeah.
The Wolf Warriors will have 11 seconds on the shot clock. Boyd from deep.
Uh-oh, that's number 4 on Holyfield.
And Stephen Thomas is shouting, he can't guard me.
Well, he can't box him out, number 1. That is a big problem now for Hong Kong Eastern. Look and see the wrestling match. This all started actually in the first quarter when they were both assessed with double fouls. And since then, Holyfield couldn't stay away from fouls. 5:04 remaining in the third. He's going to miss the entire third period because of this.
Boyd underneath. Goes up and in.
Chai Chi-Han just checked into the game and immediately Chai Chen finding Julian Boyd.
Costner draws the foul. He will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, that's number 1 on Julian Boyd, and that will also put Macau at the limit as we're going to have a timeout here. Wolf Warriors still hanging on to a 65-54 lead.
In overtime, a minute left, 91 to 88.
Yeah, Mono.
86, sorry, for
Right.
Mono.
Mono actually parading a new import as well in that matchup. So Brandon Costner's got to get to the free throw line. Once again, 24 points in the game. Coming off 35. He may hit 35 again today because no one's really helping him on offense. Rayleigh Ross has got 12 points, and then that's about it. Steven Gonchard's got 8 points. Holyfield's going to miss the entire third quarter because of foul trouble. So the offensive load will fall solely on the guy at the free throw line right now, and it's split by Brandon Costner.
10-point game. They swing it over to Tang Ji Kang. Left-handed layup, no. Put back, still a miss. Here comes Hong Kong.
Holyfield just fell.
Costner, actually, that was Costner
check
who
that.
fell.
Yeah, you're right. Costner just fell.
With a 10-point game, Holyfield with 3 fouls.
Four fouls.
4 fouls,
Yeah.
sorry. If you're Hong Kong, how do you get back into this game?
Well, I guess you got to just keep doing what you were doing in the second quarter to come back. Shoot those threes. Unfortunately, it's only Costner who's made a three-pointer here in the second half. Lee Key has 0, and Gonchard has not even had an attempt yet. Rayleigh Ross tried once, and it was way off. So the shooting of Hong Kong is really miserable at this point.
They find Boyd underneath. That's good.
Julian Boyd's mid-range game is also one to be inspired about. 20 points in the game so far. 12-point lead now for Macau.
Rayleigh Ross. Nice pass underneath. They swing it over to Costner, who's left wide open. Could not make the defense pay.
Wow.
Tang Chi Kang slips and falls. Ahead to Chai Chen. Muscles his way underneath.
That's easy.
The bang in the bucket for Chai Chen.
If you wanted to foul him, you should have fouled him the moment he got the ball. Adam Shue just let him slip by, and Steven Gonchard couldn't do anything about it. You're talking about a guy who was about 6'8", about 240 pounds going straight at you, and he's left-handed too.
What about that heads-up pass by Steven Thomas?
Yeah. Knowing that there was a teammate leaking out. And this lead is back up to 15. Boy, Macau pulling off the Wolf Warriors pulling out all the right stops at the right time.
Adam Shue, he'll try a 3. Still a miss for Hong Kong from beyond the arc. They need those shots.
This will be advantage Steven Thomas all day if Costner's not going to contest him for those boards.
Ewing trapped. He'll take a jumper and a switch.
And again, the shooting for the Wolf Warriors is actually at a decent clip right now. It's just Hong Kong is not making their shots.
Rayleigh Ross against Ewing. Stops his dribble. They go to Gonchar. To the corner. No. Wide open, but still a miss for Hong
You're
Kong.
absolutely right. These are open looks that Hong Kong Eastern are missing.
Boyd working in the post. No basket, says the referee.
Traveling, yeah, this is the correct call. Actually, Julian Boyd had already stopped, then took another hop towards the hoop.
No complaints from Boyd.
And no complaints also from Todd Purvis, who got the official announcement from one of our referees. The referee who called it. That was the correct call.
Under 3 minutes to play, 72 to 55. Mike Bell will return,
Yes.
and Steven Thomas will take a seat.
Yeah, Steven Thomas is he's still got that ailing back. But what a yeoman's effort there for Steven Thomas. Now remember that Mike Bell is also playing with 3 fouls.
Underneath, Costner.
I wonder how he slipped past Julian Boyd that time, but a great finish by Brandon Costner.
Boyd. His layup is a miss. Boyd. Up and in. Julian Boyd.
And again, with no legitimate rim protector from Hong Kong Eastern, these second and third opportunities underneath for the Wolf Warriors is really going to get a lot of benefits. 3-point play opportunity coming up for Julian Boyd. Hong Kong calls time. on the road after picking up an emotional win. Actually, it was a come-from-behind win in their home opener at the Maba Stadium just the other day. So, again, we keep saying the same term. The plot thickens in terms of the team standings here in the ASEAN Basketball League. And for now, the Macau Wolf Warriors are up by 17 points. This is a team that's on a three-game losing streak. And they're up 17 against Hong Kong.
Coster misfires. Here comes Ewing. Tang Ji Kang open. Nice pass underneath to Bell. Bell off the glass.
Tang Ji Kang had about 3 seconds to make that shot. Elected to drive, and Mike Bell now ups this lead to 19.
Rayleigh Ross. Adam Shu, he'll try a three. Coster rebound. Up, no. Somehow Rayleigh Ross got that.
Well, Adam Shu has missed 3 open shots.
And very wide open, actually.
Right. Both teams now end the penalty, and now Chris Shentu makes his first appearance of the second half.
And Adam Shu, after missing a handful of shots from beyond the arc, will take a seat. Lao Tzi Lai is in.
Yeah, Lao Tzi Lai actually, if you look at the first half stats and look at the plus-minus category, Lao Tzi Lai was the only one with a plus. And he played less than 2 minutes in that first half because he was part of that 9-zip run that cut that 20-point lead to 11 before the halftime break. But now Rayleigh Ross at the free throw line.
Yes, 12 points, but a very quiet 12 points.
And also a lot of turnovers. She had 4 at the half.
Misses on the first free throw.
A lot of pressure now on Brandis Rayleigh Ross as the lone point guard as well on the side of Hong Kong Eastern. I don't believe he's actually taken any rest here today so far. It's starting to show in his free throws. He's missed 2.
Christian 2 drives hard. Bell, turnover, Wolf Warriors.
Not a good possession that time for the Wolf Warriors. They actually had Chai Chan and Tang Ji Kang open on the weak side. They never found them.
A minute and a half to play. Third quarter. Still all Wolf Warriors so far. Coster. Way off. Shentu comes up with it. Bell trying to post up against John Shu. Shentu did not see him. Bell with the quick first step. Loses it to Rayleigh Ross. That should be...
Oh, and a sportsmanlike foul called.
That is correct. You cannot do that. Advantage was on Rayleigh Ross and Eastern.
That's going to be foul number 2 on Julian Boy. That's also going to mean free throws for Brandis Rayleigh Ross. And he's starting to huff and puff here. It's really been a tough day for Brandis Rayleigh Ross. I mean, the 10 points that he got in the first half, he had to work for those as well. And he's been more of a free throw shooter in this game than anything else.
0 for 2 earlier, knocks down the first. Goes 2 for 2 this time.
Yeah, but they do keep the ball because of the unsportsmanlike foul called. 109 remaining here in the third. But again, the Wolf Warriors are winning this third quarter.
Let's see if Hong Kong can slice this deficit just as they did late in the second period. A minute to play. Errant pass by Gunchar.
Chai Chan almost came away with that, but again, Lao Tzi Lai was lighting up in the weak side. They didn't see him.
9 on the shot clock for Eastern. Almost errant pass once again. Coster heaves it. Does not get the bounce.
They can still get that 2 for 1 right now if they hurry.
Chai Chen goes hard to the cup. The big man with a burst of speed.
That's very, very difficult to stop. Chai Chen, you keep on saying he's 6'8", but he's got guard skills as well. Knows how to split defenses.
He's very
back at the
deceptive
line.
too.
Yes.
You know, he loves those stop and pop threes, but if you're the defense, you have to be wary of his ability to drive.
Again, Chai Chen, one of the leading local scorers last season in his rookie year here in the ASEAN Basketball League. averaging close to 20 points a game.
Under a minute in the third. Really Ross against Shentu. He spins, he drops it off. Lao Tzi Lai from deep. That's good.
Yeah, that's what Lao Tzi Lai brings to the table, really. His ability to shoot those catch-and-shoot threes.
30 seconds to play in the third. Chai Chen. He'll take a three
Oh!
and knocks it down. The answer from Chai Chen. So every time Hong Kong seems like got in a rhythm, the Wolf Warriors are right there. 10 to play in the third. Rayleigh Ross with the basketball. Costner from deep. No.
Gotta put it up.
Still all Macau Wolf Warriors in the third. They hold a commanding 81-62 lead over Hong Kong Eastern. One more quarter left. We will be right back. Fourth quarter underway here in Zhongshan, China. It's 81-62 for the Wolf Warriors, who are hoping to finally snap their 3-game losing streak. Chai Chen takes aim. Doesn't get the three.
Well, Holyfield is back in. He is playing with 4 fouls. And he has been really the difference maker. If he's on the floor, Hong Kong thrives. When he's on the bench, Hong Kong gets left behind.
Way off from Steven Gunshar. Wolf Warriors scored 28 points in the third counter. So they still have this huge lead. Chai Chen, easy two. Gunshar with the flop.
Yeah, he got warned for the flop as well. Again, it's so difficult to stop Chai Chen one-on-one if you're giving up, what, 20, 30 pounds against him.
Another try from Gunshar. Still no.
Yeah, Hong Kong is just shooting blanks at this point. Holyfield and Lao Tzi Lai have been the only successful three-point shooters in this third quarter, or in the second half, rather.
Brandon Conster, the leading scorer for Hong Kong, is at the bench to start this fourth quarter. Julian Boyd with 7 on the shot clock. That is a pull against John Shu.
And that shakes up Julian Boyd as well.
Slow to get up is Julian Boyd.
Yeah, John Shu tried to pull the chair from Boyd. Now, Boyd is limping a bit here. Remember, in the game against San Miguel, Alab, Pilipinas, he was also shaken up in that one. Actually had a bout of dehydration. It's a non-shooting foul, so he can actually be replaced, and they will replace him first with Scotty Ewing. Again, he had a bout with dehydration. Also nursed a few injuries as well.
So Boyd takes a seat, 22 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists across his name.
And still no sign of Stephen Thomas coming back in. I mean, if the Wolf Warriors can survive this game with a win and Stephen Thomas sits out the entire fourth quarter, that's a big deal because they got another game coming up tomorrow against the Saigon Heat. So you want to get as much rest as you want for your veteran who's not really healthy right now. He's got a bad back. You're looking for Brandon Costner. He's back in the game right now. Seeing that Boyd hits the bench, this could be the time for Costner to actually lead a comeback.
He has been doing everything he can. Talking about Costner, he has 27 points so far. And the other only scoring double figures was Rayleigh Ross with 14.
Yeah, they're missing the offense of Michael Holyfield. But of course, Michael Holyfield has not really seen a lot of action today because of foul trouble. He's only got 5 points.
8:42 to play. Ewing, step back, Jay, good!
And again, Scott Ewing, we're looking for that breakout game when he continues shooting. He is one of the best shooters, if not the best shooter on the team. Biggest lead now for Macau, 24 points.
Underneath, Holyfield and one.
Yeah, Shentu and Chai Chen sort of got their signals crossed that time. They're going to call this one actually on Hu Wei, who came in to help. There's still a lot of time here for Hong Kong Eastern, but they got to play almost flawless basketball from this point on.
You know, if Hong Kong continues to miss from the outside, Holyfield and Costner will have to work underneath to get those points.
And a lot of drives also coming up from Brandis Rayleigh Ross. That can help. Actually, Rayleigh Ross is on the bench as well, getting his first rest. 3-point play completed there by Michael Holyfield.
It's 86-65. 2 minutes have passed in the fourth. Chai Chen behind the back cannot control the basketball out of bounds.
That would have been a great move. He's able to gather and just go up for the shot. So Hong Kong getting the stop. And our first look now at Ngu Chung Sun, new point guard coming in.
It's Costner, top of the key to Nung. He drives hard to Holyfield, bounce pass too strong. Holyfield with 8 on the shot clock. Draws the foul on Chai Chen.
That's going to be number 2 on Chai Chen. So now it's a slow grind. I don't know if Hong Kong has enough time to come back if they elect to go to a slow grind for Michael Holyfield. But that's exactly what they're doing. And Julian Boyd doesn't stay on the bench very long. Hu Wei is going to check back. So Boyd looks like he's okay. But it's very interesting that Hong Kong brings in a new point guard this late in the game. His name is Ngu Chung Sun. One of the newer additions here for Hong Kong Eastern. And Holyfield is starting to find his touch from the free throw line.
Holyfield so far with 9 points. Hampered by foul trouble all game long. 4 fouls on him so far. Knocks down the second.
Well, he surpassed his output in the win against the Kuala Lumpur Dragons now. He's got a total of 10, but they're still down by 19. But you get the sense that this game still isn't over.
Mike Bell to Ewing. Ewing takes aim off to the left. Bell will try. Bell for the rebound. Hard foul against Nung.
And you got to give credit there to Scotty Ewing. He's going to give up a lot of inches to anybody in this league. He's probably the shortest player in the league right now. But tried to go up for that rebound. And interesting to note, Scott Ewing is actually playing against the team that, well, he's from Hong Kong. So he's technically playing against his home team.
Of course, Ewing with an incredible story being discovered by Coach Todd Purvis here in China.
Yeah, he was just shooting around.
And that is a foul against Boyd, I believe.
Julian Boyd with a very, very hard moving pick to free up Scott Ewing. And again, for Ewing, he was just shooting around, just hanging out with the team. And lo and behold, they offer him a contract. And here he is.
10 points tonight for Scott Ewing. A bounce-back performance for him. Here's Coster. Underneath, Stephen Gunchar all alone for the Deuce.
And that's why Stephen Thomas's presence is very important inside. Mike Bell is a shot blocker, but he is not a rim protector. There's a big difference.
Chai Chen, long bomb, good.
Chai Chen's bailing them out every now and then. This leads back up to 20.
John Chu, he'll try to answer. No. Wolf Warriors will not look to push the pace. They have a 20-point lead.
But they still got to score a lot of points just to make sure Hong Kong Eastern, they can go on a run anytime. Uh-oh.
Ewing all alone. No, Holyfield is right there.
Didn't even have to jump to get that rebound. That's how long he is.
They whip it to Gunchar from the corner. Still cannot find the three. Shentu nearly loses the ball. Thought about the three, but decides to reset. 14 on the shot clock. Boyd open. Cannot make the defense pay. Alley-oop, Holyfield.
Great unselfishness that time by Hong Kong Eastern. Now the pace is falling into their side. They're only down now by 18 points. This was highest at 24 just a few moments ago. Oh, Holyfield with his fourth block.
From Holyfield.
I think they're going to reverse this call. Looks like Wu Chung Tsun touched it last. They will reverse the call.
Chai Chen was pleading his case to our officials.
Yeah, the baseline referee is not going to have an easy angle to make that call, and that's a correctable call. That's why our slot referee was able to correct that, as Scott Ewing is going to take a seat.
Boyd, quick trigger. No.
Julian Boyd struggled here in the fourth quarter so far.
Hong Kong up and running once more. Gunchar. Still a miss from beyond the arc. Fortunately, Holyfield is right there. See Hong Kong pushing the pace every time out. They're still down big.
Well, that's going to be the fourth foul on Tang Ji Keng. Trying to take the ball away from Michael Holyfield. They deem it as a non-shooting foul. So now an endangered species on the side of the Wolf Warriors, with Tang Ji Keng picking up his fourth.
5.5 to play, 89-71. Still a huge lead by the Macau Wolf Warriors. And Mike Bell will draw it out. Chai Chen all day long. That one is good.
What a game for Chai Chen. He's now the team's leading scorer with 24.
Costner, crossover, and the finish, plus a foul.
And Chai Chen just couldn't stay out of that one. He's going to pick up his third. But again, Chai Chen has just been amazing, especially from beyond the arc in this game. He is leading the bench squad right now. He did come off the bench. It's usually not a safe comparison, comparing bench points for either team, because usually you have your best players as your starters, but the best local from the Macau Wolf Warriors comes off the bench.
Chai Chen currently averaging 16.1 points. on a 44% shooting clip.
Well, he is. If they go on to win this game, he's got my vote for player of the game.
A wet spot on the floor. Our officials just trying to make sure that it is safe and dry.
And you know, if the Macau Wolf Warriors go on to win this game, that's going to bring so much momentum moving forward. In less than 24 hours, they will be facing another road team in the Saigon Heat. And Saigon has not really done well of late. They picked up their first win against Singapore last week, but since then, they've been on a slide.
And Brandis Rayleigh Ross checks back in. Shentu underneath the board who is trapped. They swing it over.
Great ball movement.
Tang Ji Kang does not get the three. Rebound is good though by Julian Boyd.
And it's starting to look like the Wolf Warriors, up by 20 now with 4:35 remaining, could be on their way to snapping this three-game losing streak.
Rayleigh Ross draws another foul.
Now, this is one thing working now for Hong Kong Eastern, is that the Wolf Warriors are over the limit with still 4:29 remaining. So any defensive foul by the Macau Wolf Warriors will send it to the line for at least 2 free throws. Rayleigh Ross knows this. Now the thing is, they got to make their free throws. Rayleigh Ross missed 2 earlier, but it looks like he's well rested already at this point. Was able to get a 6-minute rest in this fourth quarter before coming back in. Yeah.
The three-point shot has not been the friend.
No way.
For Hong Kong. They are finding other ways to score, just like attacking the basket and drawing fouls.
Yeah, traditionally Hong Kong lives and dies with the three. It won them a championship about 3 years ago, got them to the finals again. But you know, the perimeter defense of all the teams in the ASEAN Basketball League is getting way better, and so Hong Kong has to find a way to reinvent themselves.
Pass underneath Bell, hook shot, good!
Holyfield didn't want to pick up his 5th foul. And Hong Kong Eastern still in trouble here, down 20.
Underneath to Holyfield, easy 2.
Yeah, at this point, you can actually start trading baskets already with less than 4 minutes to go. But again, Wolf Warriors still have to execute.
Under 4 to play. Macau Wolf Warriors still up by a huge margin.
That's 18 points.
Chai Chen spots up. He has had the hot hand, but not that time. Rayleigh Ross slices his way underneath. Nowhere to go. Adam Shu finally knocks down a tray.
Yeah, he needed to knock down one of those 3 he missed in the third quarter. This score probably wouldn't be this big of a deficit. Hey, it's down to 15 though. They gotta watch it though. If you're the Wolf Warriors, you still gotta execute.
Coming up on 3 minutes to play. Shentu cannot see the opening. They go to Bell, jumper. Too strong, but the bounce is not in favor of Mike Bell.
Oh, and Julian Boyd is starting to cramp up. There's only 4 defenders.
Left on the other end. Holyfield gets the deuce.
Oh, they're gonna call a timeout here. Boyd can't move. He's starting to cramp up. This lead is down to 13, Yo-Yo.
And Boyd will go to the bench gingerly. 13-point game. We will be back to see how this game will unfold. Just before we went on a break, Julian Boyd was hampered with cramps. He is on the bench right now.
Yeah, and they're going to use 4 locals and Mike Bell to try and finish this game out. They were leading by 24 just a few moments ago, and now they're only ahead by 13. So again, Hong Kong can come back strong at any given time.
2.5 to play in the final frame. Underneath they go, who you weigh? Nowhere to go. Chai Chen.
Oh!
Chai Chen has been the man of the hour for the Macau Wolf Warriors.
He deserves a medal for his performance today. 27 points, a season high for Chai Chen.
Whenever the Hong Kong Easter would knock at the door, Chai Chen is there to answer.
Oh, they count the basket though.
Much to the confusion and the dismay of Chris Shentu.
Yeah, Shentu thought he gave up a preemptive foul, but they're going to count the basket here for Brandis Rayleigh Ross, and they could get those 3 points back right now.
So a ceasefire on the floor. Still a 14-point game, 99-85 for the Wolf Warriors.
Slingers were up by 15 points with about this much time remaining, about 2:38, 2:40. And Lee Kee went off for 5 straight threes, sent the game into overtime, and Hong Kong eventually won that game.
Let's see if Hong Kong can pull that comeback here tonight.
Well,
here
Lee
they
Kee,
are with the pressure defense. Chai Chen, bounce pass. Mike Bell wanted the head of Michael Holyfield.
Well, he got Michael Holyfield's scalp instead of getting him the head. That's going to be number 5 on Michael Holyfield. He's out of the game. And Brandon Costner is going to come back in.
Unforgettable performance for Michael Holyfield. Plagued with foul trouble all game long. Played tremendous defense, but still had trouble getting his rhythm. He checks out with 16 points. Mike Bell misses the first free throw.
Well, Mike Bell also with 16 points in this ball game. But it's been the overall play of everybody here. Oh, Mike Bell missing 2. Door is still slightly open here for Hong Kong.
Under 2 to play. Costner. Do they count it?
No, they call an offensive foul on Brandon Costner. Good positioning that time by Chai Chen, and no complaints coming there from Jordan Brady. That was the right call.
So Costner with that bump against Chai Chen. Chai Chen read that beautifully.
Yeah. And again, that slick spot underneath the court. You see a lot of people on that side slipping.
So Hong Kong, especially in the last few minutes, have used the pressure defense to try to quicken the pace and get the ball back.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you're not making your three-point shots with regularity, that's going to be a big problem when you're trying to come back from a double-digit spread with less than 2 minutes remaining. And John Shu made one earlier, but they're going to need everybody to start connecting and force a few turnovers here and there as well.
Eastern trapping. Here's Ewing with the leather against Adam Shu. Uses the pick from Chai Chen to Mike
wow.
Bell, head of speed. Mike Bell off the glass, no. Ball will stay with the home team.
And because of that, they're starting to run out of time. Hong Kong Eastern is starting to run out of time.
1 minute and 28 seconds remaining. Wolf Warriors can see that light at the end of the tunnel. Ewing to Chai Chen, open. No, Bell is there.
Big rebound for Mike Bell.
And the Wolf Warriors will reload.
And that actually should do it right now. This is a 5-possession lead that they have.
Chai Chen. That is short. John Shu
Well,
knocks down the tray.
we'll see. It's down to 10.
Last night, the Saigon Heat made a furious fourth quarter comeback against the Black Bears. They cut it to 10. Similar, they were down by 30, cut it to 10, ran out of time.
Well, you know, the same thing with the KL Dragons as well, down 20 in their home opener against the Formosa Dreamers, and came back to win that one by 1 point, 80-79. So comebacks abound in the ASEAN Basketball League. But I believe if Chris Shentu makes these free throws, it could be out of reach.
So the Wolf Warriors, after losing their 3 games, will finally get a win. Here on their home floor, they will improve to 3-8. And as we've been mentioning, they will need that momentum as they host the Saigon Heat tomorrow night.
And we're not going to be playing at this gym as well. You know, both their home wins, if they go on to win this one, as Hong Kong calls a timeout, both their home wins coming here at Zhongshan. We will be going to Foshan Shishan tomorrow for that Saigon Heat game.
Their next game will be against the Taipei Fubon Braves on January 18. Coster, no. That should do it.
Yeah, they're going to foul Chris Shen to put him back at the free throw line.
You know, for Coach Todd Purvis and the rest of the Wolf Warriors, how satisfying and relieving is this win after losing twice against Formosa Dreamers and most recently the Taipei Fubon Braves?
Well, you know, they just had to forget. They at least had 3 days to forget that Doug Herring is not in their lineup. So they were practicing for the last 3 days. They were practicing without thinking about Doug Herring not being in the lineup. So they came in here as a unit, preparing for this team over the last 3 days, executed the game plan. Unfortunately for Hong Kong, their shots didn't fall, but they now know that they can win without Doug Herring against a contender here in the ASEAN Basketball League.
The past 3 losses by the Wolf Warriors, they actually scored 89 points in each of those losses.
Yeah.
Here they are with 102.
Uh-oh. Well,
So
John
John
Shu
Shu
still not giving up, cutting it down to 10.
Will this be a little too late?
Yeah, I would think so. They could have averted all of this if they had made shots in the third quarter. Again, we're not blaming anybody here. It's just that the shots just didn't fall in the third quarter. In the first half, they shot 30% from the floor. And it's just unfortunate that the offense really wasn't working for the Hong Kong Eastern squad. We have another player fouled out. That's Stephen Gonchar. He's done for the night, picking up his 5th foul, finishing with 10 points. And Lau Tzi Lai is going to come in to replace him.
Guys like Stephen Gonchar, Lee Ki, Adam Shu cannot find the range here tonight. Even John Shu, even though he had some late triples here, was absent in the first 3 quarters. 30 seconds remaining, 11-point lead by the home team. John Shu, another 3.
That's interesting, but I'm not quite sure they have enough time. They cut it down to single figures.
John Shu has found the touch here in the final 2 minutes.
Well, he's made 4 3-pointers here in the 4th quarter. So that is, or make that 3 3-pointers here in the 4th quarter. Again, a case of a little too late right now for Hong Kong Eastern. And I'm sure the Saigon Heat are watching this game right now. And their coaching staff is feverishly preparing something for tomorrow. Well, the keys the Wolf Warriors actually executed here today was they had a great offensive flow. Their defense was there, no doubt about that. They created a great offensive flow, but also Chai Chen had a fantastic game on offense.
Let's see if Hong Kong can score on this possession. Really lost. Gets the jumper to fall.
17 seconds. Oh,
Near
steal. Wow. If they had made a shot, they'd taken a steal and made a 3. That would have caused some kind of panic here, but now this is going to be officially putting it away. It's a 3-possession game. And Scott Ewing can officially put this away.
11 points tonight for Scott Ewing. Make that 12. A bounce-back performance for him. Very quiet in the past 3 games for the Macau Wolf Warriors.
He didn't really have to do too much point guard chores here as well.
Goes 2 for 2. And this should do it.
They foul him on the ground, though, with 11.4, so that's going to be free throws coming up for Brandis Rayleigh Ross on the foul by Hu Yu Wei.
If you're Hong Kong, any pointers you can take away from this impending loss?
Well, you just got to make your shots, really. That's the bottom line. I mean, how many open looks did Hong Kong flub in that 3rd quarter when Chai Chen started heating up? Boyd started making some shots. Costner actually made a lot of shots there as well in the 3rd, but a lot of open looks allowed by the defense. They couldn't capitalize on it, and now it leads to a road loss. Oh, 5-second
violation. It is a 7-point game, 106-99 with 11.4.
Now, Hong Kong's out of timeouts. It's actually the Wolf Warriors going to call a timeout, so Hong Kong can actually construct something now. Well, they just got to hold them off now for the final 11.4. A 3-pointer is going to put a lot of pressure on them. But I'm not quite sure they burned their last timeout the right way. Let's see what happens.
Rayleigh Ross drops. They give it to their 3-pointer. John Shu takes a 3. Knocks it down. 8 seconds remaining. 4-point game.
And they have no timeouts. Oh, they get it across.
Christian 2 escapes. Lao Tsilai with the foul. What a gutsy shot by John Shu right between the eyes.
Well, you know, at least John Shu knows that his range is pretty good. And he has been shooting with a lot of consistency here. Now these free throws are very important now for the Wolf Warriors. You know, earlier, I have to think that this was a 24-point lead just a few moments ago. It's down to a 2-possession game, but thankfully for the Wolf Warriors, it is a 2-possession game with only 5.2 remaining. Regardless of the outcome of these free throws, it is a 2-possession game.
Christian 2 extends the lead to 5. A valiant effort from John Chu in Hong Kong Eastern. But the Wolf Warriors with that cushion. 5 seconds remaining. Really Ross with the 3, and that will do it. Macau Wolf Warriors survive a furious rally from Hong Kong Eastern. They take the 108-102 victory. And for the Wolf Warriors, this has to feel good after 3 straight losses.
And they cannot even rest, and they cannot even celebrate this win right now. Yeah, it's great to snap a 3-game losing streak, but you got to be prepared because in less than 24 hours, another team's going to come into your building. It's not even going to be in this building. It's going to be in another building at the Foshan Shishan Gymnasium, where the Wolf Warriors will host the Saigon Heat. But for Hong Kong Eastern, it was just a matter of their shots not falling today that led to their doom, and they have suffered another loss on the road.
So the Macau Wolf Warriors improved to 4-7. Hong Kong drops to 1-4. Well, as we take a look at the final stats, any final observations?
Well, it's actually more of the 3-point field goals. Looking at 49 attempts for Hong Kong. They only made 13. It only took Macau 27 shots to make 11. So that number really has to either improve or they have to take less shots, get more shots inside. Michael Holyfield's foul trouble also did them in this game. If you look at it, it's pretty much even, except for the fact that Hong Kong missed a lot of 3-point shots.
And once again, your final here in Zhongshan, China, it's 108-102. For my partner, Noel Zarata, this has been Yo-Yo Sarmenta. And we bid you good night here in China. This is the 10th season of the ASEAN Basketball League. Rise to greatness. Open is Regulish. Back-to-back triples for Mono Vampire.
Only 7 remaining. He makes his move. Young forces it up and in! CC hasn't made a shot before that.
Pretty good so far here in the first half.
Lie. Oh, everyone for the Black Bears finding the bottom of the net. Leaky with a big steal. Leaky for three. That goes in. What a play!
This broadcast of the ASEAN Basketball League may not be reused in any way, shape, or form without an express written consent of the ABL.